dear students, in this video we will continue with chapter number 1, typical configuration of computer system. Let us have introduction. We know that the computer is almost used in each and every field. So it could be engineering, it could be education, it could be banking, and it could be any other applications. So here the computer is made up of electrical as well as electronic components. So hence it has got the four important components. The first one is hardware, second one is software, and the third one is data, and the fourth one is users. What do you mean by hardware? Hardware are the tangible components which are touchable, which are physical in nature, which has got certain shape, color and dimension. Here hardware could be keyboard, monitor, mouse, even central processing unit, that is processor, and even motherboard and so on. Next, let us move on to software. Softwares are intangible in nature. Softwares are logical in nature, because all the softwares are not tangible. We cannot touch and we cannot feel them. They are logical in nature. So here software is nothing but these are the set of instructions which performs a specific task. So collection of such programs is called as software. Now let us move on to data. Here data is nothing but it's a raw fact, figure or statistics that is to be processed to get the meaningful information. Here the fourth component of a computer system is users. Without users you will not be able to instruct the computer, because computer do not think by itself and it is not going to perform any operations by itself, because its intelligent quotient is 0. Unless and until user inputs some data, the computer do not execute and it is not going to give us the result. Hence users are required. Next we will continue with the review of block diagram of computer system. Here you can see the central processing unit consisting of control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and it consisting of registers. So all of these are hardware components which will work together. They are going to coordinate with one another and they are going to control the entire operations of the computer system. Let us continue with the block diagram of a computer system that consisting of input, processing and output components. So let us start from the left hand side, that is first data. Data is a raw fact, figure or statistics that is to be processed by the system to get the desired meaningful information. So here the raw fact, figure, statistics will be fed or inputted to the input devices. So here input device in turn will to the central processing unit. Central processing unit consisting of two different parts. The first one is storage unit and the second one is central processing unit. Storage unit consisting of primary storage, that is primary memory. It is also called as physical memory. Example for physical memory is RAM. And next is secondary storage device. So secondary storage device is a memory location where the data resides permanently for future reference or future use. And the second part of the central processing unit consisting of control unit and arithmetic and logic unit. Control unit is acting as a nervous system of the human brain. It is going to control and coordinate all the input and output instructions or operations, and it is going to even manage the operations of both software as well as hardware. So arithmetic and logical unit. Arithmetic and logical unit will perform arithmetic and logical operations. Arithmetic operators are plus, minus, multiplication, integer division, modular division. Logic unit consisting of logical operations such as logical ANDing, logical ORing and logical NOT. So such operations will be performed by arithmetic and logical unit, which is acting as a brain of the computer system. Next we'll move on to output unit. So after processing the inputted data to get the desired meaningful information, that meaningful information will be displayed onto the output unit. Let us continue with motherboard. Motherboard is the largest printed circuit board which is acting as a intermediary between the communication of two or more than two components of a computer system. Each and every communication must pass through the motherboard only. Motherboard is characterized by form factor, refers to the motherboard's geometry, dimension, arrangement and electrical requirements. Advanced technology extended, that is ATX, is the most common design of motherboard for desktop computers. The next characteristic is chipset. The function of chipset is to coordinate data transfer between the various components of the computer. Processor socket is a rectangular connector into which the processor is mounted vertically, or a square shaped converter with many small connectors into which the processor is directly inserted. Now let us continue with the types of motherboard. There are four different types of motherboards. The first one is XT motherboard. This is the old model motherboard. XT stands for extended technology. So this type of motherboard consisting of LIF socket, that is low insertion force socket, RAM slots, that is DIMM, that is dual inline memory module, and ISA, industry standard architecture slots, 12-pin power connector and no ports, DIMM memory modules, ISA slots for add-on card and no ports. Now let us see the example. Pentium 1, Pentium MMX, Pentium 2 and Pentium 2 processors are the examples of XT motherboard. Now let us move on to the second type of motherboard, that is AT motherboard. AT stands for advanced technology, which has PGA, that is pin grid array socket, SD RAM slot, that is synchronous dynamic random access memory slot, 20-pin power converter, PCI slot, that is peripheral component interconnect slot, and ISA slot, industry standard architecture slot, and we find the above components on AT motherboards. Here example is Pentium 3 processors. Let us continue with the third type of motherboard, Baby at motherboard. Baby at motherboards have the combination of XT and AT. They have slot type processor sockets and PGA, that is pin grid array processor socket, SDRAM, synchronous dynamic random access slots, and DDR RAM, double data rate random access memory slots, PCI slots and ISA slots, 12-pin power connector and 20-pin power connector and ports. Examples Pentium 3 and Pentium 4. Let us continue with the fourth type, ATX motherboard. ATX stands for Advanced Technology Extended. In this type of motherboard, we find MPGA, that is Micro Pin Grid Array Processor Socket, DDR RAM, double data rate random access memory slots, PCI, peripheral component interconnect slots, AGP, accelerated graphic ports slots, primary and secondary IDE interfaces, SATA, that is serial advanced technology attachment connectors, 20-pin and 24-pin ATX power connector and ports. Examples Pentium 4 dual core, Core 2 Duo, quad core, i3, i5 and i7 processors. So here the Intel is the largest company that manufactures the processors. Next we will continue with the components of motherboard. The first component is processor, that is we call it as a CPU. It is also called as microprocessor. Next is BIOS, basic input output system. Next is CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Slots, disk controllers, input output ports and interfaces, and then the bus. Here in the diagram you can see the motherboard with the various components are labeled. Let us continue with the first one, that is processor, CPU. CPU is acting as a brain of the computer system which performs both arithmetic and logic operations. Let us continue with the clock speed. The clock speed or the processor speed can be measured with the help of hertz, gigahertz, okay, even megahertz. So all these are nothing but what? It's a processor speed. The clock speed of a CPU is defined as the frequency with which a processor executes instructions or the data that is processed. Let us continue with the next component of the motherboard, that is BIOS, basic input output system. BIOS is a small chip on the motherboard that holds a set of instructions to load the hardware settings required to activate various devices like keyboard, monitors or disk drive. BIOS invoke the bootstrap loader to load the operating system into memory. So whenever we turn on the computer system, it takes around 30 seconds to show the desktop. Means what? This is loading the operating system from the secondary storage device onto the RAM. So this process is called as booting process. So here this booting process will be taken care by this loader, that is bootstrap loader will take care of booting or loading the operating system from the hard disk to RAM. Let us continue with the next component of the motherboard, that is CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor. CMOS is a type of memory chip to store the date, time and system setup parameters. So these parameters are loaded every time the computer is started. You might have seen, as soon as you turn on the computer system, it shows the latest time and the latest date, even though you have turned off the computer system the previous day. How it is possible even though the computer is not supplied with the electricity or power? Just because it has got one small cell that is called lithium ion cell, so that keeps the date and time updated. Now let us continue with the next component of the motherboard, that is slots. So slots are nothing but it is an opening in a computer where you can insert a printed circuit board, that is PCB. Slots are often called expansion slots because they allow you to expand the capabilities of a computer. Expansion slots. The expansion cards are inserted in the expansion slots. These cards give the computer new features or increased performance. There are various types of expansion slots. The first one is ISA, that is Industry Standard Architecture slot. So this particular slot is used to connect modem and input devices. The next slot is PCI slot. So peripheral component interconnect slot. PCI slot are used to connect graphics accelerator card, sound cards, internal modems or SCSI, that is small computer system interface cards. These are much faster than ISA cards. Accelerated graphic port slot. AGP slot is meant to provide faster access to a graphic accelerator card, thus enhancing the visual experience for the user. All Celeron and Pentium 3 motherboard come with an AGP slot. Now we'll continue with RAM slot, that is random access memory slot. It is an opening which is used to install memory and is of two types. They are SIM and one more is DIMM, that is single inline memory module slot, and DIMM is dual inline memory module slot. The original Pentium systems typically have either 4 72-pin SIM slots or 2 168-pin DIMM slot to install memory. Let us continue with processor slot. Processor slot is used to insert the processor chip, which is the largest chip on the motherboard. It can be identified as a heat sink or fan is located on top of it. Next, PCI Express slot. It has faster bus architecture than AGP and PCI buses. The next one is PC card. It is used in laptop computers. It includes Wi-Fi card, network card and external modem. Now disk controller. Disk controller is the circuit that enables the CPU to communicate with the hard disk, floppy disk or other kind of disk drive. Let us continue with hard disk controller. In short, we call it as HDC. The hard disk controller is the interface that enables the computer to read and write information to the hard drive. The first standard hard disk controller developed is the IDE standard drive, also known as ATA, that is Advanced Technology Attachment, that is ATA. This drive is attached to the motherboard by means of 40-wire ribbon cable. The IDE standard also allows two drives to connect in a daisy chain fashion. The enhanced IDE standard followed shortly. The EIDE standard is a specification that allows four drives to be connected. With the help of EIDE, we'll be able to connect four disk drive to the motherboard in a daisy wheel fashion. Next, we'll continue with floppy disk controller. In short, we call it as FDC. A floppy disk controller is the interface that directs and controls reading from and writing to a computer's floppy disk drive, FDD. A single floppy disk controller board supports a 33-wire ribbon cable and can connect up to 4 floppy disk drive to the motherboard. That's all in this video. Thank you very much for watching this video. We will see you in the next video.